much you will gain. How much you will gain. So in Arabic, it's called al-naf'iyya. It's called al-naf'iyya. So this marriage, which seems to be as if it is material trade, a trade between two parts, a trade between Grande Grange family and Bounderby. It is just like a trade. It is dealt with as a trade, commercial trade. So let's go to see or to read some paragraphs from chapter 16 in order to underline 2 points. The first point is what Mrs. Sparsit, the way Mrs. Sparsit will respond to the news about this marriage, and then the atmosphere in the wedding, in this occasion. So somebody to read? يلا علي كاظم.
Yes, maybe. First paragraph?
No, not the first. The fifth paragraph. Mrs. Sparsit
Drew back.
Mrs. Sparsit, ma'am, said Mr. Bounderby, putting his hands in his pockets. Nothing first, second page, first, second page. Mrs. Sparsit, ma'am, said Mr. Bounderby, putting his hands in his pockets.
Yes, I found it. Mr. Sparsit, ma'am, said Mr. Bounderby, putting his hand in his pockets and assuring himself with his right hand that the cork of the little bottle was ready for use. I have no occasion to say to you that you are not only lady born and bred, but a devilish sense woman. Sir, returned the lady, this is indeed not the first time that you have honored me with similar expressions of your good opinion. Mrs. Sparsit, ma'am, said Bounderby, I am going to astonish you. Yes, sir, returned Mr. Sparsit, interrogatively and in the most tranquil manner possible. She generally wore mitres, and she now laid down her work and smoothed these mitres. I am going, ma'am, Mr. Bounderby, said Bounderby, to marry Tom Gradgrind's daughter. Yes, sir, returned Mrs. Sparsit, I hope you may be happy. Mr. Bounderby, yes. Oh, indeed.
You know the nature of this relationship. I mean, the relationship between Bounderby and Mrs. Sparsit. There is hidden enmity between the two. You know the meaning of enmity? Yes. Here.
Yes, that means hatred between them.
Yes. Yeah. This is hidden. It has not been shown. I mean, but when the occasion comes, this hidden enmity becomes seen on the actions of the two characters, on the words of the two characters. So Bounderby attempts to do what? He attempts to anger Mrs. Sparsit, trouble Mrs. Sparsit, tease Mrs. Sparsit. You know, tease, T-E-A-S-E, to trouble her, to make her angry. Okay, so in every possible way, Bounderby attempts to anger her, to humiliate her, because of what? Because of this hidden grudge, because of this hidden enmity. And you know, this enmity, this grudge has roots. The roots are related to what? To the background of the two characters and their past and their present now. So he tells her that he is going to marry from Grand Grind's daughter. It is a surprise to her. It is a shocking news to her. Okay, because of what? Because of the disparity in age between the two, and because she was planning to marry from Bounderby in order to restore her lost privilege. Okay, so he tells her that he is going to marry Louisa, and her response, if you follow her response, she says, "I hope you may be happy," and indeed, "I hope you may be happy." So, two times or twice she said the sentence, "I hope you may be happy. I hope you may be happy." This shows her what her hesitation, her shock after hearing the news. Now, if we go to the two pages forward, meanwhile, the marriage was appointed.
Yes. Meanwhile, the marriage was appointed to be solemn in 8 weeks' time. Mr. Bounderby went every evening to Stone Lodge as an accepted ward. Love was made on these occasions in the form of bracelets, and on all occasions during the period of betrothal took a manufacturing aspect. Dresses were made, jewelry was made, cakes and gloves were made,
Yes.
Settlements were made.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see now, love is as if it is made of what? As if it is made of material what? Material objects. Whereas love, the genuine marriage, is what is made of what? Is made of genuine love between the couple, right? But what we have seen that what they care about is to how to present love in material objects. So we can see now dresses were made, jewelry was made, cakes and gloves were made, settlement were made. So as if everything is made of what? It is made. Everything is made of what? Of facts. This notion that Bounderby and Grand Grind believe in. If you follow, an extensive assortment of facts did appropriate honor to the contract. So the whole issue rely upon this notion again. We can say the notion that the characters, the family, Grand Grind's family and Bounderby believe in this magic or this sacred notion, the fact makes everything in this marriage. Marriage is made of what? Of practical things. Marriage is made of what? Material things. So this is the destination of marriage. Marriage is dealt with as if it is a commercial process. Marriage is made as if it is what? It is a trade between the parts, between the husband and wife, between the family of the wife and the husband. So the business, if we follow reading, the business was all fact from first to the last. So everything is made everything is made from facts. Fact means that the way the relevant people think of marriage So the only loser of the whole issue is going to be Louisa. With this marriage, we end part 1, with the part which is entitled sewing. The first process is over now. We move to the second part, the second process. You know that the whole novel is compared to what? Is compared to agricultural process. So the first step one should do in this is to what? Is to sow the seeds. Now the whole seeds are what? Are all planted. So what the characters have planted earlier are going to what? Are going to reap in the second part. The second part is entitled reaping. So what they have already cultivated, you know the meaning of cultivate? Do you know the meaning of cultivate? Yeah.
I think agriculture, that means?
Yeah, plant.
It's plants.
Plant. Yeah, so what they have already cultivated is going to what? Is going to are going to what? Going to reap in the second part. So the second part is going to be is going to be concerned with the second process, that is reaping. So let's go to read the second part. First chapter is effects in the bank. Effects in the bank. Yes, somebody to read?
Yes.
يلا من Ali. Thank you, Ali.
Yes, doctor. Effects in the bank. Sunny and media summer, there was such a thing sometime even in the Cooktown. Seen from the stand in such a weather, Cooktown lay shoulder in a haze of his oil, which prepared and previous to the sun rays. You only haze of the town knew the town was there, because you knew there could have been no such sultry plot. Open the prospect without a town.
Yeah, you see now, as usual, Dickens begins his chapter with what? With the reference to Cooktown, the image of Cooktown. But this time the image is a little bit different. The image is shown to us at a midsummer day, at a day, not a night. We usually
Yes, complete.
The image is shown to us at sunny midsummer day, at day, not at night. Previously, the Cooktown is described to us, for example, at the end of the work day. I mean, when the work day is over at evening, the situation there is described. Cooktown is described at evening, at the end of the work day. But now the description gives us an image of Cooktown at the day, midsummer day. So as if he wants to tell us that there is no difference when town is described at night and when it is described at at the day. The same situation, the same pollution, the same smoke, the same monotony is there. Okay. So the description at the beginning of the second part tells us about the time, about the town at the day, not at the night. And one more idea we can get from describing the town at the day is that a little bit everything is going to be clearer than before. Characters are going to be clearer than before. The situation in Clocktown is going to be clearer than before. When at day we see better than at night. So we are going to see better than before. We are going to see the characters better than before. Everything will be clearer than before. We are going to know more about Tom. We are going to know more about Pitzer. We are going to know more about Bounderby. We are going to know more about other characters because now things become clearer than before. They could be seen clearer than before. When you see things in night, when you see things in morning or at daytime, different when you see them at night. So this is the second idea we can have from this beginning, the beginning which describes Clocktown in the daytime. Yes.
Yes, complete. Now,
Yes,
confidently tending this way. Now that
go to two pages forward. The bank offered no violence, Mrs. Bassett was conscious that by coming in the evening tide among the desks.
Yes, the bank offered.
The Mrs. Bassett was conscious.
Yeah, Mrs. Bassett was conscious that be coming in the evening tide among the desk and writing implement she shade feminine, not to say also article great open the offers.
Grace.
Yes. Grace opened the office, stated with her nail work or knitting purchase on the window. She had self-laudatory scene of correcting by her ladylike department the rude business aspect of the place with this impression of
Mrs. Bassett moves to stay in the bank at the evening because the apartment is left to to Bounderby and his wife. So as you know that Mrs. Bassett is always showing off. She's characterized by her self-love. So she feels that she would add a feminine touch to the bank. She's going to add aristocratic touch to the bank. She's going to add a graceful touch to the office of the bank. So we know that Mrs. Bassett is characterized by self-love. She loves herself. She's proud of herself because she belongs to according to her, she belongs to aristocratic origin. So she considers herself as the bank fairy. Her presence in the bank would add a touch to the bank, to the office. Okay, but people of the town think or see her as the bank dragon, She's compared to a dragon, that ugly and fiery creature, right? Dragon spits fire out of its mouth, right? So she's compared to a dragon. The dragon is always shown to protect the treasure. Sometimes this treasure is in a cave, for example. So she's compared to this ugly and fiery creature by the town people in Coketown. Okay. We move to another character who is also one of the students in Grand Grai School. Now he is also working in the bank. 2 pages forward, Manal.
Yeah.
He held the respectable office of General Spy and Informer in the establishment.
He held the respectable office, yeah?
Yes.
Of a general spy and informer in the establishment for which volunteer service. He received a present at Charmstown over and
Christmas. Yes.
Yes, over and above his weekly wage. He had grown into and extremely clear-headed, cautious, brilliant young man. Yes, brilliant young man who was favorite in the world. His mind was so exactly regulated that he had no
regulated. Regulated. You know, the regulation of the mind refers to what? To the ideas he has, to the education he has received earlier in his childhood. You know, this is Pitzer, right? Now Pitzer is working as a spy and informer. His actual work is what? Is a porter. His actual work in the bank is a porter, but he performs another secondary job. That job is spy and informer. This very mean job. You know, mean job. To be a spy and informer, this means that you are doing a very mean job in your office, to tell the boss about others' secrets, about what others do in the bank. So he does this thing in the bank. So mean means what? Mean job. MEAN. Surah?
Yes, it's a bad job that he tried to spy on them and taking their secrets while they work.
Yes. The meaning of mean in Arabic?
يعني عمل لئيم أو عمل شرير.
Yeah. حقير. Okay, so you know, Pitzer is this character. We can put it with the what? With the other characters who belong to the School of Facts, right? So his mind is regulated to what? To follow his own interest, whatever the means is. You know, he's after fulfilling his what? His end. He's after fulfilling his end. He's after fulfilling his intention in whatsoever possible way. In whatsoever. So he also belongs to the school which believes in what? In facts, which believes in practicality, which believes in the things that lead man to what? To his or her material and in whatsoever whatsoever the way is, the means is, okay, regardless the means, regardless the ways. So he is Bitzer, the boy who we know before, the boy who was educated in Grand Grimes School. Yes. His mind was so exactly regulated, and he had no affections or passions. Yeah. As we said earlier, that he belongs to the school which believes in what? In facts only, which believes in material thinking only, which believes in logic only. It does not give a place to affections and emotions, as if man is made of what? Is made of stuff things, stuff objects, as if man is what? Is a machine, is a set or a device. Device does not have what? Does not have sensations. Machine does not have sensations. So this school attempts to what? To build a man in a way that he she becomes similar to a machine. Man without emotions, man without affections, man without sensations. Yes. All his proceedings. Yes, Manal.
Yeah. All his proceedings were the result of the nicest and closest collocation, and it was not without case that Mercy Bright habitually observed of him that he was a young man of the statist principle she had over now. Having
which principle? Status principle. Which principle? He was a young man of the status principle she had ever known. Hey, Sarah.
Principle of fact.
Good. He's a very strong believer in what? In facts. He strongly believes in what? In the principles he has received in his earlier life, in his education. So he's strongly adopting these principles. He's strongly following these principles, the principle of facts. Yes.
Yeah. Having established himself on his father's date, that his mother had right of settlement in Cooktown. This young economist had asserted that right for her with such a steadfast attentiveness to the principle of the case that she had been shut up in the workhouse even since. It must be attendant that he allowed that he had bound of Tyre, which was weak in him. First, because all gifts have an inevitable tendency to bear pure pairs that respect, and secondly, because his
okay. Yeah, this is Bitzer now. Bitzer as a young man. We know Bitzer as a boy. Now we know Bitzer as a young man, and it is the time of reaping. It is the time of reaping, and now this is the first step of reaping. Bitzer now is working in the office we all expect that he will belong to the office, this economic office, the office which is mainly deals with what, with calculations and statistics. Right? The bank is very appropriate place for Bitzer to work in. The atmosphere is very fit to Bitzer to work within. Now we move to 2 pages forward. 2 pages forward. We are going to see a new character. We are going to have a newcomer in the novel, and a new Cooktown. That is James Harthouse. James Harthouse is a visitor, is a comer, is coming from London to train under Grandigrind's apprenticeship to learn politics. To learn politics, you know, Grandigrind is a member in the parliament. So James Harthouse comes to Cooktown to learn politics under the guidance of Grandigrind. So go to the paragraph which begins with the visitor having strolled to the window. The visitor having strolled to the window. 2 pages forward.
Yeah, which page?
My book is different. The visitor having strolled
Which one now?
to the window. 2
Page
pages forward.
94. Page 94, at the middle of the page.
Yeah. The visitor having strolled to the window and being then encarded looking cursory out was unmoved by this impressive entry and mindful possibly be. He stood whistling himself with all imaginable coolness, with coolness, with his hate still on and Kirsten air of exhaustion open him in part rising from summer and in part from excessive gentility. For it was to be seen with her and I that he was a throat gentleman, mad to be a model of the tone, wary of the everything and putting no more faith in anything than deceiver.
Yeah.
I believe.
See, 1 minute. You know, Dickens gives us models. For example, Grandigrind is a model for those who are following the philosophy of facts. Bounderby is a model for the rising middle class. Mrs. Bassett is a model for the falling aristocracy. And Bitzer is a model. Thomas is a model. Stephen Blackpool is a model for the working class people, the honest working class people. Sorry. So James Harthouse is also a model. He's a model for the wealthy, ideal, irresponsible Victorian man. See, he's wealthy, aristocratic, wealthy fellow. Idler, you know idler? I-D-L-E-R. From the word idle. Man with no work. Jobless man. Not jobless, but without work. He can get work, but he does not want to work. What do we call such a person? Yes, Sarah?
Yes, he is a lazy person. مهمل.
Yes. عاطل, okay? So he's a wealthy, idler, irresponsible, Victorian man. He's looking for entertainment to busy himself with. He's looking for things to amuse himself, to entertain himself. He's very bored with his monotonous life. So he wants to change the style of his life. He has enough money. He has enough time to be busy with his own entertainment, his individual entertainment. He's bored with his life, so he is traveling. He's moving to somewhere else to meet new people, to amuse himself. Okay, this is in general about James Harthouse. What we know more about this character, we can see in the last line of this paragraph. They weary of everything and putting no more faith in anything than Lucifer. Do you know Lucifer? I think you have met this character last year in Dr. Faustus, right? Abbas?
The devil?
Yes. Satan, okay? Satan. When we hear about Lucifer, what idea comes to our minds? What is the first idea comes to our mind? Lucifer is connected with what? Fatima.
Magic and evil.
Evil, but before evil. Yes, true. Evil is one more is very very characteristic that Lucifer has. So Abbas.
He's a fallen angel.
Fallen angel, yes. What else? Sarah.
Heel.
Sarah Murafa,
Yes.
You want to participate?
Yes. Heel.
What an idea. Huh?
Heel.
What?
من heel الجحيم.
Hell? Hell, not hell.
Yes.
No, we are concerned with this character. We are concerned with this character. Yahya?
Yes, of course it may be connected with a sin or guilt or something like that.
Yeah, with temptation, seduction. Yeah.
Seduction, yes.
Seduction. He is the angel who seduces Adam and Eve. He's the reason for he's the first seducer. He's the first seducer, right? So James Harthouse is as malicious and seducer as Lucifer. He's as malicious and seducer as Lucifer. You know, malicious, meaning of malicious. Yes, Yahya?
Yes, he means, yes, in Arabic means الخبث, and that means just to behave in
evil,
bad,
evil,
yes.
being evil. Yes.
Hypocrisy.
So he follows. He's clever and malicious at the same time. Lucifer is clever, right? Lucifer has the ability to what? To persuade others to what? To do sins, right? He's able to. He has crooked way. He follows crooked way to what? To persuade others to what? To follow him, to do mistakes, to do sins, right? So he is clever and malicious at the same time. He's a good seducer. He's a brilliant seducer, using his cleverness to what? To do evil things, to persuade people to do evil things, to do mistakes. He attempts to what? Misguide people. Lucifer attempts to misguide people, right? So James Hathouse is as malicious and evildoer as Lucifer. He has the ability to persuade others. James Hathouse has polished style, has polished manner to impress others, to influence others. He's a persuasive character. James Hathouse is a persuasive character. You know, persuasive. He has strong ability to persuade characters, to convince characters with his what? With his polished style, with his ability of persuasion. Okay? Yes? Go on, Manan. I believe, sir.
Yeah, I believe, sir, both mercy prices. You wish to see me. I beg your pardon. He said, chiding and removing his hands. Pray excuse me. I'm pleased through mercy prices as she made stately band. 5 and 30. Good looking, good figure, good teeth, good voice, good breeding, well dressed, dark hair, a blood eye.
You see now, who's speaking now? James Hathouse is reported to us through Mrs. Sparset's eyes. Right? Now, he's described to us through her eyes, through her view, through her feminine view. You know, when ladies or when women see, is different when men see. When women judge people, is different when men judge people, right? So now Hathouse is reported to us through Mrs. Sparset's eyes. So the first and last thing women care about when they look at men, when they judge men, they look at what? They look at their physical appearance, right? So now Hathouse is described through Mrs. Sparset's eyes. So according to Mrs. Sparset, he is 5 and 30. His age, good looking. You see now, she's much concerned with his physical appearance. Good figure, good teeth. All these things are related to what? Are related to his physical appearance. Good teeth, good voice, good breeding, well dressed, dark hair, bold eyes. Okay? She's very much concerned with his physical content, physical appearance. Okay? All which Mrs. Sparset observed in her womanly way. You see, womanly way. It is not manly way, it is womanly way, to be concerned with what? To be concerned with the physical appearance. Yes. Then both Sparsit and Hathas involved in what? In a talk, in a dialogue. And you know, Mrs. Sparsit is very much concerned with her background, with her aristocratic background. She is proud of her past, which no longer exists, right? Her past no longer exists because she has lost her aristocracy. When she wants to say, then she would go back to the past. When she wants to praise herself, she goes back to the past. She talks about the past. So she involves in a talk with Jem Tathaus about her past, aristocratic past. We move to the second. Move to the second chapter, James Tathaus. James Tathaus. Thank you, Minal. Somebody else? Yalla Abbas.
Yes, doctor. The Gradigrant party wanted assistance.
No, Abbas, please, 2 pages forward.
Okay.
2 pages forward. Mr. Bounderby said, Jem, you anticipate my dearest wishes. Bounderby said, Jem, you anticipate my dearest wishes. They went on without further discourse.
I can't find it. Page 100 in the middle. No, okay, thank you. Mr. Bounderby said, Jim, you anticipate my dearest wishes. They went out without further discourse, and Mr. Bounderby piloted the new acquaintance, who so strongly contrasted with him, to the private red brick dwelling, with the black outside shutters, the green inside the blinds, and the black street door up to the 2 white steps, in the drawing room of which mansion there presently entered to them the most remarkable girl Mr. James Harthouse had ever seen. She was so...
Yeah, you see now? James Harthouse is in Bounderby's apartment. He's meeting the family. He's meeting Bounderby and his young wife, Louisa. So now Louisa is going to be described to us through Harthouse's eyes, through his eyes, his own impression about her. He's going to tell us about his own impression when he firstly meets her. Therefore, you will see different description. The description we are going to have is James, okay? Is James, is Harthouse on description, yeah. So James Harthouse says she was so constrained. Yeah, so careless, yet so careless. You know constrained? What does mean constrained? Means she is confined to what? She's confined to particular rules. She is confined to particular what? System. Her own system. Her own life. Yes, Sarah. Do you want to say something?
Forced or overly controlled.
Yes. By whom? Controlled by whom?
Mr. Bounderby?
No, not by Mr. But by the what? By her own rules of life. Her own system. Yeah, her own system. Her own character. Sometimes our characters impose on us particular rules, right? So she is constrained to particular rules, her own rules, and yet so careless, so reserved. You know, reserved? Conservative. Reserved, conservative. You know, conservative?
متحفظة.
Yes, good. Yet so watchful. Watchful means she is watching everything. She is noticing everything. Okay? So cold and proud, yet so sensitively ashamed of her husband, braggart, humility. She is what? She feels ashamed when her husband talks about his, for example, past. You know, he's very fond of his past. Boundary B, you know that, right? He's very concerned with his past. He's always glorifying his past. He was sleeping in the ditch. He was eating poorly. He was poor, and so on and so forth. So she's ashamed of his talk about his when he speaks about his past, he humiliates himself. So Louisa is ashamed of his braggart humiliation, the way he humiliates himself. So Jem Tatars noticing everything. He's noticing everything. He's a clever. He's looking for what? For his source for enjoyment. So he finds Louisa the needed person to fill his time, to enjoy himself, to entertain himself. So he's watching everything as if a devil. He's Lucifer. Don't forget, he's Lucifer. So he's watching everything. He's looking for what? For the weakest point to what? To hit in. He's looking for the weakest point to hit in. You know, the weakest point drives you to what? To your entry, right? You know entry? What does mean entry? E-N-T-R-Y.
A way of getting in somewhere.
Yes, good. So he is looking for the weakest point in this lady, so that he can what? He can invade her. He can invade her land, so that he can control her. Okay, he's just like a devil, just like Lucifer. Yes. Go on. Yes.
From which he shrunk as if every example of it were a cut or a blow, that it was quite a new sensation to observe her. In face she was no less remarkable than in manner. Her features were handsome.
She was no less remarkable than in manner. This means she is very remarkable. Her manner and her face are all remarkable. Her face is pretty. It's pretty girl, right? Her features, yes.
But their natural play was so locked up that it seemed impossible to guess at their genuine expression.
Yeah, their natural play was so locked up. She's locked up. She does not permit strangers to what? To unlock her. You know, she's locked up, just like safe. She does not give a chance to others to what? To deal with her. Right? She does not give others, strangers, the chance to what? To deal with her. She's locked up. Just like safe, you know, safe, S-A-F-E. What does mean safe? Hey, Ali Kabo.
Yes, it's a safe place you can lock your things.
Good. So she's locked up. So in this case, Jem Tatars is looking for the key to unlock this lady, right? Now he's interested in what? In looking for the key, the key which can unlocks this safe, unlocks this box, this locked box. Okay, so she's locked up. Yes, go on, go ahead.
That it seemed impossible to guess at their genuine expression. Utterly
You cannot guess her. You cannot. She's not open character. She's locked character. Okay. You cannot judge the things the things which please her, the things which anger her. Okay. So she's locked up character. Yes.
Utterly indifferent, perfectly self-reliant, never at a loss, and yet never at her ease.
Yes.
With her figure in company with them there, and her mind apparently quiet alone. It was of no use going in yet a while to comprehend this girl, for she baffled all penetration. From the mistress of the house, the visitor glanced to the house itself. There was no mute sign of a woman in the room, no graceful little...
Next paragraph. You know, don't forget that this description comes from Harthouse, right? It is James' own description. The way he looks at her. You know, he's very interested in what? In the things that let him invade her own world. So he's very much concerned with these things. The things we read now are concerned with James' own view about Louisa. The things that let him be able to to invade her world, to see the weak and strong points, to remark the weak and strong points in the character, so that she's going to be his target. She's going to be his own plan to on subject. She's going to be his own subject to amuse himself, to entertain himself. So he's trying to remark the weak and strong points in this lady. Yes. This, sir, said Bounderby, is my wife.
This, sir, said Bounderby, is my wife, Mrs. Bounderby, Tom Gradgrind's eldest daughter, Lou. Mr. James Harthouse. Mr. Harthouse has joined your father's muster roll. If he is not Tom Gradgrind's collie before long, I believe we shall at least hear of him. In connection with one of our neighboring towns, you observe, Mr. Harthouse, that my wife is my junior. I don't know what she saw in me to marry me, but she saw something in me, I suppose.
The usual demonstration. He always demonstrating himself. And the same way, he's humiliating himself. He said that, or he says, I don't know what she saw in me to marry me. You see that the way he humiliates himself, but she saw something in me, I suppose, or she wouldn't have married me. So this is the talk that Louisa is ashamed of, the Bounderby's talk that Louisa is ashamed of. Yes.
She has lots of expensive knowledge, sir, political and otherwise. If you want to cram for anything, I should be troubled to recommend you to a better advisor than Lou Bounderby, to a more agreeable advisor, or one from whom he would be more likely to learn. Mr. Harthouse could never be recommended. Come, said his host, if you are in the complimentary line.
Yeah, he's praising his wife. Bounderby is praising his wife. Next page. next page. I have not so much as the slightest prediction left.
I have not so much as the slightest prediction left. I assure you, I attach not the last importance to any opinions. The result of the varieties of boredom I have undergone is a conviction, unless conviction is too industrious, a word for the lazy sentiment I entertain on the subject, that any set of ideas will do just as much good as any other set, and just as much harm as any other set. There is an English family with a charming Italian motto: what will be, will be. It is the only truth going. This vicious assumption.
This is his own philosophy. This is James' philosophy. This is James' ideal morality. Ideal morality. You know, James is a representative of the immoral man. The immoral Victorian man. You know, immoral? أي سرعة؟
ذو أخلاق أو رجل يعني ذو مبادئ.
Immoral. When we add a.
No manners.
Yes. Yeah. So these lines express the philosophy he adopts. So according to him, it does not care what set of ideas will do in order to what? In order to fulfill his end. He's not much concerned with the what? With the means. He's after doing what? He's after doing his end in whatsoever possible way. This is the utilitarian philosophy, which comes under Dickens' criticism. Dickens criticized this philosophy. It is inhumane philosophy, the utilitarian philosophy. So this man is Machiavelli. You know Machiavelli? Those who say, Machiavelli says that the end justifies the means. The end justifies the means. So he is a representative of this Machiavelli philosophy. You know? The end justifies the means. What does it mean in Arabic? Hey, Ali Kadhim.
الغاية تبرر الوسيلة.
Good. This is called Machiavelli philosophy. So, even Bitzer, even Tom, are all identical. They all follow this philosophy. They are after the end only. The means does not matter. Okay, so they are after the end. So, therefore, James Harthouse is another representative of this philosophy. Okay, this immoral philosophy. So, according to him, there is an English family with charming Italian motto: what will be, will be. Okay, what will be, will be. Okay? You see this indifference in what? In fulfilling one's end. This shows the indifference, the carelessness of what? Of the the way others follow to fulfill their end. It does not matter about, or this does not matter about the means they use. So they are much concerned with with only the end, whatsoever the means is, whether it is moral or immoral. It does not matter. So he is James Harthouse is a strong believer in this philosophy. He strongly believes in this notion: what will be, will be. And this tells us that this man lacks the set of morality. The set of morality which characterize him as what? As lacks these sets of rules which characterize him as a moral man. Okay? Yes, the vicious assumption. Go on.
Yes.
Abbas?
This vicious assumption of honesty and dishonesty is a vice so dangerous, so deadly, and so common. Seemed he observed a little.
Yeah, this is also what this idea or this feature that James Anthos is characterized with. That is to pretend pretending to be honest in order to fulfill this honest thing. Pretending to be honest to fulfill this honest thing. This is the manner James Anthos uses to fulfill his intentions, to fulfill his ends. Okay, so it is vice so dangerous, so deadly, and so common seemed he observed a little to impress her in his favor. Okay, so he is going to use this manner to persuade Louisa, to impress Louisa, pretending to be honest man. But behind this honesty, there lies dishonesty. Okay? Behind this honesty, there lies dishonesty. So he's going to persuade Louisa, he's going to impress Louisa by this fake honesty. Fake honesty. You got the point? So he followed up the advantage by saying in his pleasant manner, a manner to which she might attach as much or as little meaning as she pleased. Okay, so he's going to please her. He's going to attract her in his own manner, in his own fake honesty. He's going to impress her in his by using his own fake honesty. Yes.
Doctor, sorry for interrupt you. Doctor?
Yes, please.
Yes, Doctor, we have a lecture with Miss Sahar now, and she shared the link. What shall we do?
Pardon?
We have a lecture with Miss Sahar right now, and she sent to us the link. What shall we do?
Is it the time for the lecture?
Yes, Doctor.
هذا وقت محاضرتكم يعني وش
Yes, 10:30.
ها؟
إيه أستاذ، وقت المحاضرة هو 10:30 لأن إحنا اليوم تأخرنا تقريبا ساعة.
أيوة صحيح. Okay. Yes, anyway, your preparation for the next lecture will be the next 3 chapters, okay? Now, please write down your names in the link. You can leave.
أستاذ عادل حسوات مرة.
Lovely.